Okay, let's move on. So, chat, there's a guy, and his name is Bastiat. And for some reason, Bastiat has decided to no longer be known as Bastiat and instead go by some sort of normal ass name like Warren Rhea. And Warren Rhea has some real shitty takes on politics. It's actually pretty incredible. This Bastiat character. For those of you who are unfamiliar, he's a capitalist stan. He thinks that capitalism is good and will save us. And he generally is that sort of person. And you know what I mean, okay? Anyway, today, or yesterday rather, late yesterday, he posted this meme with the caption, "Hey rentoids, remember to tip your landlord." And even without the meme, I'd be like, wow, that's kind of fucked. But like the image is literally of like renters living some sort of idealized life, while the poor suffering landlords have to do things like pay property taxes, interest, maintenance costs, large down payments that took years to save. Oh, the poor landlords who actually own something that is appreciating in value and becoming more and more valuable all the time, while the renters have nothing that is appreciating in value. And as we know, home ownership is like the main way people in America have gained wealth over generations and also in their own lifetime. So, yeah, this is kind of the tip of the iceberg, but I thought we'd go through it together. Because boy, did he have a lot more to say after that. Also, asking a landlord for your security deposit is the wrong question. It valorizes white institutions and white ways of knowing and being and structuring society in really problematic ways. Which I feel like he's making a joke there, but I don't know what it is, frankly. But also, yes, it is your security deposit. That is explicitly yours. That is your money. I enjoy these memes because most landlord-tenant relationships I've had seem like they're like any other contractual relationship I've had, which I am going to go out on a limb and assume is every sexual relationship he's ever had. The dozen or so landlords I've had have been fine, even when I lied about all my cats. The tenants I've rented to have been fine too. My 30s started off big, but I never had any money until then. Maybe it's different in the bigger cities. I have no context what it's like to rent in New York or San Francisco, but I guess in the ordinary places I've lived in across Florida, it wasn't a big deal. In the end, it seems like the biggest problem in housing is affordability, and the biggest problem there seems the restriction of supply by homeowners using local governments to stop change, constrain the housing supply, and artificially inflate the value of their own homes. All of this likely makes it easier for bad landlords, who of course also own homes, to extract higher rents from than they otherwise could. But it also keeps better landlords from expanding their stock as well. And as anyone who owns a home knows, there are some advantages to renting. So in the end, the memes mostly seem like memes. Georgism is interesting, and Maoism is deranged. Either way, be sure to tip your favorite landlord for Valentine's Day. Uh, First of all, no. Fuck landlords, and also fuck the idea of tipping your landlord. Tipping them for what? You tip them every month by paying the fucking rent. But also, like, like outrage bait. No, this guy actually believes this shit. His main thing is being like a neo-lib a corporate lawyer. That's like his online brand. He works as a corporate lawyer. Um, just lie to your landlord. It's not like they can use that as an excuse to evict you and keep your money or anything. They'll be cool about it. Trust me. That's exactly what he said. Essentially, like, no, if you have a shitty landlord, your landlord can like basically hang that above your head and do anything they want with you. Okay. That's why, like, a bunch, like, when COVID happened initially, like, a bunch of landlords were, like, having, like, coercing their tenants into having sex, rather than, like, evicting them, I guess. Like, oh, yeah, I'll have sex with you. You can't make rent this month? Okay, have sex with me and we'll call it even. Like, Jesus. Um, those posts were just saltine and Hellman sandwiches. True. Yeah, there were prosecutions for that. Yep. Is there data on that? There are prosecution there were prosecutions, so I assume there's data. Talking about a lawyer who lost the coconut argument against Vosh. Yes, Nexus of Midnight, you remember. Oh my God, it's him. It is him. His name's he formerly known as Bastiat, now currently going by Warren Rhea. I don't know how to read that. I never know how to, like, say Rhea? Rhea? Ray? I don't know. Coconut? We had a moratorium on evictions for 2 years. Landlords don't need money. True! Rhea? Okay. It doesn't sound right, but I'll go with it. So, of course, we have a few different issues here, right? Like, first of all, the idea, like, he's like, oh, yes, you see, I have had good relationships with my landlords and good relationships with my tenants. So, was he the neolib? Yes. So, therefore, everyone has good relationships with their landlord or good relationships with their tenants, which is, like, a weird thing to think, that just because your experience was good means everyone's should be good, or, like, the tenants are complaining about nothing. I don't know. The very definition of privilege. It's like privilege, but also it's just like kind of weird blindness. Like, even if you are a business person, you know that there are shitty landlords. That's a thing. Like, does this guy watch It's a Wonderful Life, and he's just like, oh, Mr. Potter is unique as a landlord. You know, not just a horribly common type of landlord. What does he think when, like, people are going paycheck to paycheck just to make rent, and, like, what are they being fucking idiots because they weren't able to save up to buy, like, a piece of property? I mean, I genuinely think that is kind of what a lot of wealthier people, a lot of landlords think about folks, to be honest with you. But, like, most people in America can't just save up money to buy property to then rent. That's not a thing most people can do. Oh, also, he's a corporate attorney for the natural gas industry. Nice. Nice. Wonderful. What a gem. He thinks that the poors can't manage their budget. Yeah. All of this likely makes it easier for bad landlords, who of course own homes, to extract higher rents than they otherwise could. Except that, here's the thing. Those bad landlords who are able to extract more rent are then able to leverage the higher rents that they're charging to buying more properties than the good landlords. So even in the example he's providing, the bad landlords have the edge. They're making more money, and thus they are able to then continue squeezing their tenants and continue growing faster than the good landlords. Yeah, I don't understand how like he's talking about this and like not understanding. Also, what was Georgism? I remember researching this when someone was like, "Oh, we should do Georgism on the moon." Um. Oh yeah, Georgism is like all of the things from the land, like natural resources, like the commons, urban locations, should be shared. So any kind of rent from land should then be like, or profit derived from land should be shared across society. While then a free market reigns for everything else, which is weird as hell. He used to debate lefties on stream on Twitch. Then he stopped, amazed he still has a job after Vosh hit him with the coconut analogy. Wait, Involuntary Pro, are you not familiar with the coconut analogy? Have you never been to Coconut Island? Do I need to explain Coconut Island? I do love explaining Coconut Island. I love the Coconut Island. Something about getting to the heart of it by escalating to BJ's is wonderfully effective. True. That was both creepy and arousing. Excellent. August Dexter. Ah, good, good. We have some of the uninitiated. Okay. So if you are in like a debate situation or a conversation, right? And somebody's like, "Well, I just don't understand how capitalism could be coercive." And you're like, "Well, you see, if you are in a capitalist society, either you work or you die, because you die from deprivation, you die from the circumstances you are in, and that is in of itself coercive. Without any kind of like social safety net to prevent you from just dying, you are being coerced into performing labor." And the usual response to this is, "Oh, it's only coercion if someone has a gun to your head," right? So a way to kind of like cut through that type of thinking is to be like, okay, say you're on an airplane and the airplane crashes into the ocean and you wash up on an island. There are only two survivors, yourself and one other person, okay? The other person wakes up before you and is able to go around the island collecting all of the coconuts, the only natural resource on the island, the only source of food on the island, collects them all and owns them. You wake up. The other person already owns all of the coconuts, already has the monopoly on these coconuts, okay? And you walk over, you're like, "Hey, could I have a coconut? Because I'm going to die if I don't have one." And the person who woke up before you goes, "Yes, I will give you a coconut, but only if you suck my dick." And then, is that coercive? Is it coercive for the man on Coconut Island to say that, well, he'll only give you a coconut if you suck his dick? Now, the obvious answer is, of course that's coercive. Of course that's coercive. Because if you don't have that coconut, you will die. So therefore, in order to not die, you'll have to suck his dick. Is that, though, a choice that is made without coercion? I would argue, of course it's not a free choice. You're being coerced into sucking that guy's dick. Joke's on him. I've got no standards. So the idea here is a way of just showing, like, yeah, this is coercion. This is how capitalism is also coercive, etc. Yeah, it's capitalism, but you've cut away a lot of the additional frills and examples. I'm allergic to coconuts, so I'm dead either way. Damn it! Damn it! You're missing out on coconuts. This is why I'm a dirty pinko socialist. Well, yeah, look, I have no problem admitting that that situation is coercive, but like capitalists do, frankly, because capitalists would then have to acknowledge the very basis of capitalism is on coercing people to perform labor against their will. And usually, like, a capitalist will then try and sidestep that by saying, well, like, well, if you don't want to do a job, you can do another job. What happens if your jaw is broken? It's irrelevant. It's a hypothetical. It would shatter their, well, yeah, it would shatter the worldview of a lot of people who think that capitalism is good, you know? But capitalism quite literally relies on a poor underclass pushed to the very edge of being able to survive in order to get people to do horrible jobs that have untenable working conditions. You know, like that's part of the labor force of capitalism, right? You can see it in how like migrant workers are paid under the table. You know, they aren't doing that job because it's like the thing that they want to do. They're doing it because like they don't have a green card and they like would die if they don't. Yeah, well, also, yeah, frantic Alba. That's the other part. You know, capitalists like to talk about wealth creation as if like the owner of a company is creating wealth by just having a good idea. But the reality is that when we're talking about wealth creation, the people who are actually creating wealth are the people doing the labor. Every single person at a company is adding value to the end product. Funny how the only solution to that conundrum are socialism or fully automated luxury communism. Well, yeah, no, socialism, like here, if you wanted, right, to get rid of the coercive elements of capitalism, what you would need, right, you would need two things, and this is what I advocate for on my channel. You would need democratic worker co-ops, i.e. democratic workplaces, as opposed to the top-down, vaguely fascistic or authoritarian structures that we have right now, which is every private business, essentially. And you would also need to decommodify the things that people need to live in a modern society. We're talking like food, water, electricity, heat, cooling, you know, etc. Medicine, healthcare, mental health care, housing, all these things. You'd have to decommodify these things so that people could then be free, truly free, to do the things that they want to do, whether it's pursuing cooking as a career or pursuing the fine arts or dance or maybe they just want to paint the houses in their community. You know, that's it. Yeah, maybe a basic amount of UBI in there as well. Also, the reason farmers pay illegal immigrants under the table is literally because nobody else will do it. Exactly. Coconuts for everyone and dick-sucking robots. God. Kimura Luna, thank you very much for the follow. Hello. Anyway, that's Coconut Island in a nutshell. Because you have to understand, if somebody bites the bullet and says, no, I don't think Coconut Island is coercive, then you can be like, okay, well, say you have a monopoly on the water, the sole source of clean, drinkable water for 100 miles. There's no way to travel in and out other than by foot of this little desert oasis. Would it then be non-coercive if you have essentially monopolized that water source and then used it as the means of paying the people who work for you, essentially enslaving them? Would that then be a non-coercive situation. I'd argue no, actually. That would be a extremely coercive situation, but capitalists often cannot acknowledge that, you know? Which is what Musk is planning to do with Mars. Well, yeah. But also, Elon Musk is welcome to try and get to Mars. I whatever. It's fine. I don't care. Okay. Anyway, we have a lot more people here. Hello. How we all doing? We've just been slowly easing into our discussion today. UBI experiment here in Chicago is going pretty well by all accounts, by the way. Yeah, UBI generally is pretty great. You know, the issue is it depends on how you implement UBI, and that's especially on a mass scale. I'm suspicious of if we implemented a UBI tomorrow, how it would be implemented. And I feel like if you did it on a mass scale, corporations and companies would take advantage of it, so there would need to be a lot of controls on it, and I don't know that Republicans would allow that to happen. Just chillin', hoping to fix my absolutely psycho sleep schedule. Well, I hope you do, Addison Gardner. My money's on Jeff. Yeah, Jeff Bezos, I don't know. Jeff Bezos did get half his wealth stolen from him by the greatest thief of all time. You know, so maybe he's not going to be the one to conquer Mars. They could trial UBI by giving me $1,000 a week, so I don't have to work a job anymore. Same. I haven't seen Jeff say anything remotely as dumb as Musk. Well, keep in mind, he is as dumb as Musk. It's just that Musk is vocal about it. Like when you guys think about billionaires, there are very few smart billionaires. Most billionaires are dipshits. Oh yeah, no, involuntary pro. Yeah, I'm talking about his ex-wife. Yeah. Um, yeah, she married Jeff Bezos and then divorced him, and now has $27 billion, which is, as far as I know, uh, one of the greatest heists of all time. Okay, hats off to her. Okay. Also, yeah, since her divorce, she gave away $14 billion. Like, I don't know. Oh, sorry. She's actually given away $16 billion now. So good night, chaotic kitten. Look, I think Mackenzie Scott, Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, um, is one of the greatest Robin Hood characters of our time. Okay, she married the man, divorced him for $27 billion, and then gave away 16 billion of it. God, I need her email so I can beg for a million. You and everyone else. God. Who did she give all that money to? Let's see. Do 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 do. She donated to 116 nonprofit organizations with a focus on racial equality, LGBTQ plus equality, democracy, and climate change. She also gave to historically black colleges, Hispanic serving institutions, tribal colleges and universities, and other colleges. In total, giving over 800 million to those institutions. Um, let's see. Less than 6 months later, she donated $4.15 billion to 384 organizations with a focus on providing support to people affected by the economic impact of COVID and addressing long-term systemic inequalities. Let's see. Ba-da-ba-ba. Then in June of 2021, she gave to 2.7 billion to another 286 organizations. From July 2020 to July 2021, she gave $8.5 billion to 780 organizations. So, I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say she's doing good stuff. She gave 275 million to Planned Parenthood. Gave 122 million dollars to Big Brothers Big Sisters. Donated a bunch of money to organizations in Kenya, India, Brazil, Micronesia, and Latin America. She also donated one of her homes to the California Community Foundation, and it sold. Two of her homes in Beverly Hills, and they're both being sold. 90% of the earnings are going to fund affordable housing, and the other 10% to an immigrant integration program. Who are we talking about? This is Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, Mackenzie Scott. So, as of November 2022, she had donated almost 14 billion to around 1,500 organizations.